Welcome to Straight Outta Jersey. Today's podcast is brought to you by Ace Sunglasses. Go to acesunglasses.com.au to purchase some of the best shades around. Use promo code
Straight Outta Jersey with Jersey Jay-Z. With the Freak of New York, Greg Valentino. And your host, Jersey Jay-Z.
What's up, guys? We're live. It is Thursday, and I'm Joe Zapata with my boy, Greg Valentino. What's going on, Greg?
What's going on, Joseph? What are you doing?
Nothing much. We got some people in the chat. Dan, how you doing? Dan Selena's there.
Hey, Dan, Anthony, and John Mancini. What are you doing, guys?
Anthony D, what's going on?
Wait, there's somebody else. Okay, yeah.
Morella says hello. John Mancini.
What's that, Biggest Momo?
Biggest Momo says, what's up?
Hey, Morella.
Yep. Windward Attack.
Hey, one more.
I sent
Rick.
you a link in Joe. Okay, we'll send you a LinkedIn. Okay, I'll check that out when I get a chance. Will Debley, what's up?
Hey, Will, my boy Will's here. Will,
what's going on? I'm just going to give a quick shout out to someone's birthday. Jose Castillo is 36 years old. Going to wish him a happy birthday. Morella's
happy birthday, Jose.
Niece's boyfriend is 30.
Wait, Morella's what?
Morella's niece.
Oh, I thought you said her boyfriend. I was going to be like, she got another one?
Girl Dave Smith, he says, I'm here too, Greg.
Hey, Guru. What is it, Guru? Dave.
Marcos, what's up, guys? Love you,
hey,
Greg.
Marcos. Thank you, Marcos.
There is Christina Ferriola. She says, hi, Joe. We were wishing her boyfriend a happy birthday, Jose.
Hey, Christina.
Yep, that's Christina. That's Morella's niece.
Okay, I'm Morella's niece.
Yep, Christina. So wishing her boyfriend, Jose, a happy 36th birthday.
She's Italian, right?
Yes.
All right.
All right. So Greg, we're going to touch base a little bit on some of these goddamn problems in the gym, some of these fights that's going on. You know about the Patrick Moore thing, that whole thing that happened. What do you think about all that?
You know, I really don't know. I mean, we talked about it on After Us. I really don't know who Patrick Moore is. I can tell you, I couldn't get this out, when we were talking about it on ours, but I can get it out here. I owned 3 gyms in my lifetime. You know what I mean? 3. And I built all 3. I didn't buy one, I built all 3. Didn't own them at the same time. 2 I owned at the same time, got rid of one right away because it was just too much. And that's where, Lee Haney trained and everything like that. I kept that one. But what I'm saying is that throughout, I can tell you for a fact, in the 80s and 90s, there was Gold's gyms popping up everywhere, World's gyms. I was a powerhouse gym, blah, blah, blah. Now you don't see them anywhere. Even Pitbull Gym, all this other shit. Because you know why? Bodybuilders don't pay. Now, when Dave is sitting there saying you should let a bodybuilder train for free at your gym, John Romano's right. I understand. Would I let Ronnie Coleman train for free? Yes, but I'm a schmuck. Okay, I'm a fucking Momo. That's a Momo. In Italian, Momo means basically it's Italian slang for schmuck. Okay. I let a lot of guys train for free. If you're my friend, fuck it, don't even worry about it. I'll let you train. You know what I mean? That's just me. I'm very bad. I'm the worst businessman God ever put on the planet. But I can tell you this. The young guys, especially the guys that are into bodybuilding, they have money for their steroids sometimes. Sometimes even that shit, I would let guys, okay, and I have to chase them for that. But they were never going to get it again, so they made sure they paid. But when it came to membership, you always got fucking excuses. Now, I get it that the guy brought in a lot of people, but the agreement is the agreement. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he brought in 100 clients. If the agreement is you got to pay me X amount of dollars and you can trade, you're running a business. That guy's running a business out of somebody else's business. He doesn't pay the electric like John Romano said. He doesn't pay the electric. He doesn't pay the water. He doesn't pay the rent. He doesn't pay all the other things. I had to pay for the parking lot. I had to pay for all these little bullshit fees you got to pay. He didn't pay for any of that. He didn't pay for upkeep of equipment. If a fucking treadmill broke, it's a lot of scuttle because it's an electronic piece, not like a fucking lap machine. We just fixed the cable. He didn't have to pay for that. That's the gym owner's expense. Okay. All he had to do was give him X amount of dollars to cover the people that he's training. And so all I'm saying is, as an ex-gym owner, I understand the gym owner's point of view. I don't ask you, hey, listen, I got to fix the treadmill. Can you give me some scuttle? Because your guy's going to walk on that treadmill.
Yep.
He didn't ask him for that. He said, a blanket fee, this is what you're supposed to pay. And if you can't pay that fee, but yet you can still stay there and make money, you're making money in his business. That's his business.
Yep.
He's allowing you to start a business inside his business, and you can't give him the money, but you're collecting money from those people. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Then he's wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's just, it's
I
wrong.
think it's up. I think it's up to the owner's discretion. If he wants to let someone work out for free, it's up to him. He's the one who decides. But at the end of the day, you know, bodybuilding.
But that wasn't the agreement, though. The agreement was that this guy, look, you can train for free, whatever. But if you're going to train people, you give me X amount of, you give me X amount of dollars per person that you train. You know,
Yeah.
Again, I had guys doing martial arts, MMA, I jujitsu, all that shit in my gym, and I knew the guy that did all the training, like, the instructors, and I let them do it for free. I let them really run a business outside. Good, but I'm a fucking Momo schmuck, whatever you want to call me.
Yeah, girl Dan Smith said, seriously, Armand is like Joy Bear. The only thing I want to say about Armand is, like, I didn't like that Chris Aceto said that about Armand on Instagram.
No, I'm on Armand's side.
Yes, I'm on Armand's too.
Look, I get along with Chris Aceto. I make jokes about him with the hair. I've known him forever. I get along with him. But, you don't do that. Just because that's your guy. I admit if one of my guys did something that's a little stupid, I'd say, look, he's my boy, but that was stupid of him. I think Armand didn't deserve. I'm on Armand's side. I feel that Armand didn't deserve. Even Larry was like, and Larry doesn't throw anybody under the bus. Larry tells it like it is. If you guys knew Larry, the real Larry tells it like it is. He doesn't pull no punch. If he says it this way, that's what he really believes. And even Larry said, the guy was wrong. The guy was wrong. You made a deal that you stick to the deal, and you don't call no cops and say, even if the cops came, the other guy called cop, whatever. You don't sit there and say, well, he sells drugs. You're a fucking drug addict yourself. You're a steroid. Yeah. You take steroids. I'm not saying drug addict because I was a, juice fanatic. But at the same time, you can't tell me that he don't fucking sell no shit either. There's no pro bodybuilder. There's no guy who takes steroids that hasn't said, hey, do me a favor, get me a bottle for my friend, Joe. Yeah, and then you sell it to Joe and you tack on $10 or whatever, or even if you give it to him, that's drug dealing, bro. You know what I mean? By the eyes of the law, if you get your friend a bottle of test from your guy and you give it to him, you're dealing drugs. That's the law. Don't give a shit whether you're making money or not making money, even if you give it for free. Yep. So don't give me that shit. You know what I mean?
Biggest Momo said your famous sweater's on tonight.
Dude, I wear the shit. I have like two others. I have a red one. I don't wear it much. And I have another blue one just like this. I should show you. I know I do this purposely because I know that you guys love that shit.
Josh Rivera says, what's up, Greg and Joe? Keep up the great work with the channel. I've been going through a really tough time, and this show helps bring happiness. Thank you. Well, we hope, Josh, you are going through a much better time than we're going the rough time. But,
Yeah, Josh, you're not the only one. A lot of people just don't, keep your chin up and just go with the punch. Bro, when you're you're stuck in I tell people, you're in the ocean and you're stuck in a riptide, right? You're trying to swim back shore, but it's bringing you further back out. Don't fight against it. That's how you drowned. Swim the opposite way. Swim that way. You know what I'm saying? Swim towards the shore. It's that way. And eventually you'll swim out of it. But if you start swimming like this and you just keep going back. So in life, that's the way it is, Josh. Sometimes you got to just don't punch walls. Don't bang your head against the wall because that doesn't change things. All it does is give you a sore head. But the situation remains the same. If you're not making the money you want to make, or your girlfriend's giving you grief, sometimes she's not the right girl. You lose her. You know what? You'll look back one day and be, thank God that was the greatest thing that happened to me. Because you'll be the one that's going to fix with you. You understand? Yep. As Joe and I, we've both been married and divorced, and now we're with the good ones. So just roll with the punches.
Yep. Anthony D said old school gyms has their place back in the day, but family fitness makes more money now.
Guys, I'm going to give you all I'm the worst businessman, but I'm going to give you the fucking greatest business advice you ever heard. If you're going to open a gym, don't open a bodybuilding gym. They don't pay. They don't fucking pay. You want like your mother or your father or your aunt or your next door neighbor, your Uncle Tanus. That's who you want because they pay their bills. Do you understand what I'm saying? You do electronically, you hit the bank account, it takes it automatic, no muss, no fuss. That's why you don't see coach gyms everywhere. Now you're seeing 24-hour fitness. I train in Anytime Fitness. You see, places like that. Planet Fitness. They're not gonna fucking chase you for your money. You know what I mean? And the thing is, that's the kind of gym you want to own. You want to own it just, yeah, man, I want to own a hardcore like dungeon gym with barbells and dumbbells, and you're not gonna fucking make money. Trust me. Go chase some guy. I've actually had a guy, Joe. One time I had a guy. I was actually friends with him too, which is really mind-boggling. But I remember telling bro, your membership's up. Oh man, I don't have any money right now. Can I pay you next week? You know what I mean? And then I go to a club. I see him in a club, right? And he's fucking drinking, he's throwing money around like this. I said, bro, when I asked you about membership, you said you don't have any money. He goes, yeah, but I wanted to go out. You know what I mean? I need the money to go out this weekend. I get paid again next weekend. I'll pay. See, that's the kind of shit I'm saying. Those guys, bodybuilders, hardcore gym rats, a lot of those, not all, so simmer down, some of you guys, but not all, but most don't. You got to chase them for their money. That's why, Now, did that gym owner, Joe, I don't know if I would have called the cops. You know what I mean? I don't know about that.
He didn't call the cops. That's what he said. He said he didn't call the cops.
Oh, he says he didn't. Somebody called
someone inside the gym called the cops, I think.
Maybe the girl at the desk saw her boss get fucking knocked down. But you can't fight the guy. You want to beat him, just have him taken out of the gym by the cops. Say, listen, you can't run your business. Either you pay or I gotta have you. You hurt the pocketbook. Dude, let me tell you something. When I was locked up, a lot of guys were in there for fight. You can't just fucking punch anybody in the face because you're pissed off. And when you stand before the judge, you say, yeah, but he pissed me off. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're gonna wind up going to jail for that shit and lose money. And you have to pay for a lawyer and all that shit just because you had to be a fucking meathead. I learned all this shit the hard way. So you can't do that. It was wrong. Yep. It was wrong.
Marcos said, "Why don't we tell Chris on his face he's a pussy yet?" Okay, well,
who, Chris Aceto?
Yeah,
he's not a bad guy. You know what it is? He's kind of like Dave. I love Dave, but these guys, they love bodybuilding so much that if Mr. Olympia went out and like fucking killed his wife, they'd say, yeah, but give him a. You know what they're like. You ever see a woman, right? A mother. Her son was just arrested for murder. He killed his girlfriend. He killed this one. Right? And then she says, but he's a good boy. He didn't mean it. He has trouble. He was going through a lot. What does that mean? He fucking committed murder. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are like that. Bodybuilders can do no wrong. First of all, bodybuilding's not even a sport. You don't win by merit. You don't win by fucking merit. Lee Priest and I have talked about this 1,000 times, Lee Priest and I. You don't win by merit. You win by fucking, it's the judge's opinion. I've been there and I've seen some of the worst decisions. And I know, I told you, Joe, about what I saw backstage, what was told in front of me about one of our friends that fucking lost a show who should have won the show.
Yep.
I'm just saying, you guys have no clue. It just shouldn't be this way though. You can't fight over every little fucking thing. Or you're gonna go to jail.
Guru Dave Smith said Aceto's better than Ambien for sleep med.
Yes, Dave. Dave is right. Dave's one of my guys. Aceto, he means well. I don't dislike the guy. I like him. I make jokes about the hair and stuff, but they're so into bodybuilding. They probably can't sleep at night thinking, oh my God, I've got to get fucking Patrick Moore's glutes more striated for him to win that next round. Like they lose sleep over that shit. Yeah. Dave genuinely loves bodybuilding, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that every bodybuilder just is fucking, you got to give them a break when they do stupid shit. Dude, whoever called the guy, I have nothing against Patrick Moore. I don't even know the guy. I wouldn't know him if he stood here. I don't even, I wouldn't even recognize. I don't know follow this shit. But I can tell you, you don't fucking tell the cops he sells steroids. That is fucking, dude. You and I, Joe,
snitches.
You and I both know guys. I know guys that would be one of your last fucking things that came out of your mouth, bro. Mm-hmm. I'm just telling you.
Yep, exactly.
Especially when you got dirt in your closet. And anybody that's fucking 310 pounds, I'll rip out your neck and shit down the hall. Super jack like that. Okay, pointing the fucking finger and talking about steroids. You got dirt in your closet, so you shouldn't do that. That was not nice. That was not a nice thing.
I did see Dave mention that he said all pro bodybuilders should get free memberships or something like that.
No, I understand what. Listen, Dave is right to an extent. I understand.
Free protein to all those. Why doesn't people order get free protein?
Yeah, but wait, I understand what Dave's trying to say. But Dave is still thinking about a hardcore bodybuilding gym. If I ran like a meathead, musclehead gym and I had Ronnie Coleman come, Ronnie Coleman's my friend, so I can't use him. And I'm a schmuck. So let's say the current Mr. Olympia, I forgot his name, but I don't know him. Okay. So let's say he came in my gym, right? He's Mr. Olympia. You know, maybe because of the way I might let him go. But if I had a hardcore gym, you'd want that in your gym. Because to Dave, you advertise that. But Joe, would your mom or your next door neighbor or, you know, Morella's sister, her aunt, would she want to go to a gym that has like, oh, wait a minute, Mr. Olympia's there? Oh, let me go there. No, that scares them away.
Correct.
Why do you think that Planet Fitness doesn't like bodybuilders there? They don't like that. When you join Planet Fitness, if you're a jack guy, the first thing it takes, listen, no throwing weights, no cursing, no doing this, no doing that. No, we don't want any of that shit here. Don't talk about steroids or you're out. Because that doesn't sell memberships. Dave, I understand Dave's thinking. Dave's right. In a hardcore gym, that helps. But this isn't, Larry said it perfectly. This isn't the 80s and the 90s. That worked back then. I had that in my gym. It worked. But today, it's a different animal. You got places charging $10 a fucking membership because they want mom and pop, because that's who spends.
Yep. They $10 membership, and then you could bring your friend for free. So Marco's put $4.99 for this is for Greg's cruise trip. He's gonna need a lot more than that for his cruise trip to go.
Marco, I love you. Thank you so much. But let me tell you something. I ain't going on no cruise. You got to be kidding me. I'll be on a Titanic. You know what I'm saying? That'd be my luck. I get fucking sick in a rowboat. You know what I mean? I would forget about it.
Yep.
I'm not going no cruise ever for me ever.
Yep. Dan said, Joe, I heard Priest was in the hospital. Have you talked with him? How is he feeling? How are we going to comment on that? Well, he was a little sick, but he's okay.
He's good. He's all right now. Yeah, he just had a little thing, but he's okay.
He's okay. He's all right. He's back. He's going to be back. He's going to be fine. You know, we talked to a couple people today. What do you think? John Mancini asked me what I think about the Super Bowl. I saw that question. I think that the Eagles can make it a game, but I think the Chiefs are going to win because you got to be perfect to beat the Chiefs. Let's put it that way. Andy Reid is a tremendous coach, probably a mortal Hall of Fame coach. He doesn't make mistakes. Dennis Zapata says, any spin back fist. That's my other
yeah, right. Let me tell you something. I just want to say, I just my girlfriend does my Instagram. So she just posted on story time on my Instagram, right? And she just posted a video for Lee, for Lee Priest. And I got to tell you something. If you look at that video, that fucking guy he was robbed out of the Mr. Olympia. When they threw Jimmy the Bull, and I just talked on the phone yesterday. We spent the fucking 2 hours talking on the phone. With two hyper guineas, because Joe knows I could talk. Joe could put the phone down when I'm talking to him. Go shopping with Morella, come back, and I'm still talking on the phone.
It's happened, so I know.
But Jimmy's the same way. We'll do it like this. We're both amped like this and shit. But Lee lost. They fucked him so bad in the IBB. They took his pro card away, right? When he was in the prime. He was like 31, 32, and they took his fucking pro card away. And then they started the 202 class. You know who would have won the 202 class every fucking year? Lee Priest.
Lee Priest every year.
Dude, he's beating guys in the open class, and he was 198.
Yep.
If you see that video that I just posted, it's on. I think she posted on my story. I don't know where the fuck she is. She was just here. She's out with my niece right now. But if you see that video, he looks so fucking good. I mean, my God, did he look good? Especially back in the 90s and early 2000s. I mean, he could fucking won the Open Olympia. I mean, and he was robbed. So, and I'm just saying because we're friends. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with me being his friend. I'm telling you, that's who would beat him when he looked like that? Nobody.
Anthony D said, bodybuilding is an awesome hobby lifestyle, but very few make it a lucrative career. That's true.
Anthony D hit the nail on the head. It's not even a career. How many have you guys been to bodybuilding shows? Joe, how many times have you been to a bodybuilding show where a guy wins and people say, oh, no way, I had him third, I had number 3, he should have won. It's an opinion. If I hold up a Michelangelo and then I hold up not Leonardo da Vinci, the other one there, the fucking, Jesus Christ, the one with the boat on the shore there, fucking, that was his fucking name, Joe. Jesus Christ, I always say his name. And now I just, somebody's
sure. What are you talking about?
The little rowboat on the shore there, fucking Michelangelo or come on, Greg, what the fuck? Whatever. Okay, you know that the fucking famous artist is Spanish. What the hell's his name? Pablo Picasso. Thank you. All right, Pablo Picasso. I hold up Pablo Picasso, hold up Leonardo da Vinci. You would never know, or Michelangelo. You would never fucking. It's a matter of opinion. I see some of these art fucking thing, you know, and I come from a family of artists. You know, my father was an artist. That's what he did for a living. I'm not talking about a hobby. And my mother, you know, was an artist as well. She did that, but she also worked for the school district. But both my parents, when my sister was, that's what my niece was just doing here, taking my sister's paintings that are in the house to bring home to her house. So I come from a family of artists, right? And I'm telling you that
and you can draw for shit.
I can't even draw I can't even draw the drawstrings on my underwears. I mean, I'm fucking bad, bro. But that's neither here nor there. The thing is, the only art that I'm good at is bullshit. I'm a bullshit artist, right? Just ask Morella, right, Morella? Shake your head, Joe. We'll see it. But the thing is that, you know, you can't fucking choose who. I mean, if you want to go by bodybuilding, again, Frank Zane's considered one of the greatest bodybuilders ever. Won the Olympia 3 times. What a beautiful physique he had. But if you read what bodybuilding, building the ultimate size, mass, you know, hardness and structure and the whole bit, Marcus Rule would have killed him. You know what I mean? Because Marcus Rule hasn't beaten every body part except for maybe the gut. You know what I mean? But yet Marcus Rule will never go down as one of the greatest, like Frank Zane will, because it's in the, you know, because we came out with this whole idea. It has to be this artistic structure of this and that. But building the body to the ultimate, you'd go more Marcus Rule than Frank Zane, right? It's all a matter of opinion. I like Frank Zane's build, so I'm not, you know, he's a dick in person, but I mean, I like his build.
William Allen said the reason Dave defended Chris is because without Chris, there's no Sunday night sleep session. Means he will take money out of Dave's pocket.
No. Listen, they're friends, and I love Dave, and I like Chris a lot too. Don't kid you. I make jokes. They're friends, but Dave has what he was trying to say about the whole gym thing is he's right in his thinking, because he's thinking, you know, hardcore gym. Why wouldn't you want Mr. Olympia training there? You want to give him a free membership. I get it. I get that. Okay, but today those gyms are fucking like the White Buffalo, bro. You know what I mean? They're a thing of the past. You walk in a gym and you start cursing or farting or fucking, you know, looking at chicks and shit. That my gym that I train at, they threw out a guy because he was fucking sitting there like this. He was like, it was an older guy too. He was sitting on a machine making believe he was taking a picture of himself, but meanwhile he was taking a picture of the girl behind him. And she caught him doing it. You know, I mean, she told the gym owner, goes in and get the fuck out. You can't do that shit here. They're strict.
Yeah, most gyms don't want those big, like.
It doesn't help. No. Guys, listen to me. All you guys listening to this. Dave was right with what he was saying, but he didn't make himself clear, meaning hardcore gym. He was right. Dave was right. But John was right, because I agree with John. With today's gyms, would your mother, think about your mom or your aunt, okay, one of your aunts, they're not into bodybuilding. They might want to lose a little blub, you know, a little bit of flubby or whatever. So they want to go to a gym, maybe walk the treadmill, do the machines a little bit. They're not going to want to go with some jacked up fucking 300-pound bodybuilders like, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know, screaming. And while the guys are videotaping and slamming weights, they'd be like, well, get me the fuck out of here. You know what I mean?
You're exactly right.
Think about what your mom would want to train at. The average woman, I'm talking about the average woman. They're not going to want to go to a gym like that. They'd rather go to a gym where there's no meatheads. You may like meatheads because you guys are into bodybuilding. Yeah, oh man, see Ronnie Coleman throwing those weights. That's great. But the average person, the people with the money, okay, they're not going to have to chase your mom or your aunt for money, or your father. So they're not going to have to chase him for money. They'll chase maybe your ass because you're younger and you're more into fucking bodybuilding. You know, bodybuilding just don't pay. It just doesn't pay.
Yeah. Girl Dave Smith said, Joe, did you know Greg was who got kicked out of the RFK Jr. confirmation hearing for protesting?
Oh, Guru Dave, you're funny. Dave's funny. No, Dave, you know, that whole RFK thing, I can't understand anybody's against him. I mean, he just wants to make it better.
Can you ask Greg my question about dangerous coaches? Yeah, some of these, these chats are going up very quick, CH. So
CH is one of my guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, he had a question about you, but they're going up very fast. So hold on, CH. Let me see if I can get it. Okay, you said, why are everyone saying Amin for prison, but yet nobody cares about all these dangerous coaches who does the same thing to their clients? RIP, Dallas McCarver, and so on.
You know why, CH? First of all, let me explain something. The guys that do the Amin for prison shit, Amin's actually a good guy. I know him. Okay, he's a good guy. He's not a bad guy. Okay, he we all have our quirks, whatever. Okay, the thing is though, those are trolls that do that shit. Amin for prison. You'll never see a guy under his. You'll never see like Joe Zapata or Greg Valentino or somebody or George Zapata. You know, we're us. You coming as our real names. You understand? Mm-hmm. You'll see Venom 123 saying stupid shit like that. You know, but they never do it under their real name. You're right about the coaches. First of all, you know, I used to sit with Sean Ray. We'd have to, Sean Ray's a good guy, but we, you know, and lately it's funny because I'm really close with Lee and I'm good friends with Sean, and they don't like each other, but whatever, you know. But Sean's a good guy. He used to tell me all the time. You know, he learned from John Brown, okay, who I know as well. But he learned after a while, you kind of get to know your own body. These guys are paying these guys sick money. And then they're like girlfriends. Today, this guy's the best trainer on the planet. Oh my God, he's great. I love him. And then tomorrow you didn't come in. Maybe you came in a little smooth. You weren't right. So now he's a piece of shit. You go with this guy. They jump from trainer to trainer. How many guys have had 5 different trainers? Dude, you got to learn your own body. Nobody else can tell you that shit. If you don't know, like, dude, should I be taking Deca with the trainer? Should I not be taking Deca because trainer Deca hit the same receptor? Dude, if you don't know that by now, you know, I mean, do you really need a guru to walk your fucking? I think a lot of gurus have destroyed the sport. You understand? I understand if you have questions or maybe your body's not responding right. You know, I would talk to Dave, you know, Palumbo for me. I would talk to Dave. Dave, you know, do you think like this? I'm talking about like medical shit, you know?
Yeah.
He knows a lot, but you know, I know what works for me. None of you guys can tell me what works for me. I know what works for me. I know what exercises work for me. I know what food's going to bloat me. Lee Haney used to say to me, I can't eat baked potatoes or sweet potatoes that make my lower belly bloat. He liked rice. Same thing with Jay Cutler. Can't eat that shit. He liked rice. He couldn't eat oatmeal, like cream of rice. They know their body. But if you talk to a guru and he's going to tell you, no, eat this, eat that, and you're going to follow every word he says, you know what I'm saying? I think that does destroy the sport. And they're all so drug oriented today. I mean, Joe, you see guys today, my God, Lee Priest was a monster. At 198 was a monster. Sean Ray was fucking almost won the Olympia himself. 198. These guys today, their height are competing at 220s, 230s. You know what I mean? Has the human being evolved since Lee Priest was a pro body? You know, since he was competing? No. It's just the drugs today are just so insane. Yep. You know, if you threw those guys on a desert island and came back like 2 months later, you'd be like, holy fuck, that's Pee Wee Herman. What happened to him? You know?
Yep, you're right.
You know, Jody was a bodybuilder. Do you remember? He was a dick, by the way. Do you remember Tim Belknap?
Name sounds familiar, but I don't remember.
You know what? It might be just before you. A lot of you guys, you older guys, you know who Tim Belknap is. Tim Belknap's the one. He was he won the Mr. America before there was a Nationals. Then the next year it became the Nationals, and Lee Haney won it. Okay. And Tim Belknap was a monster. But he would get on stage and he was so big and ripped and everything like that. And he looked fucking freaky. 2-3 days later, they would take a photo shoot of him in Gold's Gym. And you're like, what the fuck happened to him? He would lose literally 20 pounds in 2 or 3 days.
Wow.
I'm not talking about a fat. I'm talking about a muscle. You know why? Because he was a diabetic. And he was the first one that was really fucking with the insulin. And if any of you older guys know who I'm talking about, know the story about him. I remember I could never figure that out. His face, even Joe, his face looked different. You'd see him on stage. He was a monster, fucking giant arm. Everything was huge. And then 2-3 days later, so he'd win a contest on Saturday. On Monday, they would have the photo shoot, right? At Gold's. I was there. I saw some of those photo shoots. I remember Gary Stridham, same thing. But you would see this guy and you'd be like, wait a minute. What the fuck happened to him from fucking Saturday? I mean, even his face looked different because he knew how to manipulate the insulin and just load up on carbs. Just like Rich Piana used to say, before he would go to an expo, he would gain like fucking 30 pounds. He would just fucking, just pound. He knew how to manipulate. He knew how his body worked.
Yep.
You got to know your own body, guys. So he knew how his body worked, and he knew you'd see him making those shakes with fucking like, fucking Cocoa Pebbles and whatever the fuck thrown in there. You know what I mean? And that worked for him. okay? Because he would just blast the insulin, you just like a balloon, but you also lose it just as fast.
Correct. John Scuderi wrote, Armand had a valid point. If Patrick bought gear from the dude, he should have never opened his mouth. No, that's true.
John Scuderi, my brother, what are you doing? Yes, listen, Armand's a good guy. He didn't mean any bad. I mean, Armand was right. First of all, you can't be 320 fucking pounds and point your finger and tell the cops he's selling steroids. You know what I mean? That's dude, in my fucking, the old school guys that I was around, the drug dealers, because my drug dealer, the guys I was with weren't even bodybuilders, bro. Okay, they were Latin kings, and they were bad dudes, bro. And they wouldn't have they don't give a fuck how big you are, you used to be a boxer or whatever. Believe me, they're not going to fight with you would fucking be in serious trouble if you did that. That's a rat, bro. That's a rat. When you do that, you're just as guilty.
Wow.
You don't do that. You don't do. You beat the guy up already. You smacked him. You knocked him and you made your point. Now you guys shake hands, make the deal, give the guy his money. If you're making money out of that gym, give the guy his money. There's no reason to fight.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. Give him his fucking money. Or the other guy should just cut his losses, get him out of the gym. That's all.
Guru Dave Smith said, take the trend rectally. That's coming from a guru.
Dave, some guru, I'll tell you.
Yeah. There's a kid at my gym. He must be 22, and he's taking a lot of trend. He took off his shirt, and I saw his tank top. His back, the zits on his back were so bad.
Oh, I knew a guy like that.
I told him, I was about to tell him, like, put your shirt back on because it's disgusting. Like, it looked really bad. And he's so young, and he's all broken out all over his face. It looks disgusting, And
yeah, but you let him, your gym owner, if that was Bob Bonham, he'd come out there with a bat and he'd be like, you put your shirt on now. Because nobody wants to lay on a fucking bench with somebody like that. They stand there posing. Who gives a fuck? And listen, guys, you see what Joe just said? Would think about your mom, your next door neighbor, your aunt, somebody who doesn't lift weight. They're not into bodybuilding. And they're going to see some big freak with zits all over him, all sweaty and shit, standing there in the mirror trying to impress everybody. You think your mom's going to be like, oh, yeah, I love this gym. She's going to be like, fuck that. I'm never going there again.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It looked like warts.
It's disgusting.
It was disgusting. Looked like we were going to pop when he laying down the gym.
Charlie Arms, if this was back in the day, you hear us on John Scuderi, you know what I'm talking about. Charlie Arms would have went over there, forget about it. He would have fucking hit him in the head with a fucking dumbbell and shit and said, get the fuck out of here with those zits. I can't even look at you. Get out. Get out of the fucking gym. Get the fuck out. He would have killed him, trust me.
Yeah. William Allen said, the coaches don't force the drugs down their throat or injections. Bodybuilders need to take responsibility for their own actions.
100%. You're right. You're right. But do you really need a babysitter the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
What about actually, I like the guy that just won the Olympic. I don't remember his name, but the fucking guy's wife gave him the objective eye. That's all you need is an objective eye. Yeah, you know what? You look good, but you might be a little bit holding water. Okay, so I know what to do to get rid of that water. Do you need a fucking guru to pay? You got to pay a guru $5,000-$10,000 for him to say, yeah, you know what? You're holding water. These guys take so much shit. I don't know how you're not holding water. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The physique guys, come on. I'm not trying to be like an old man here, okay? But the physiques aren't as good today as they were back in the fucking day. You showed even these short guys. You look at Lee Priest. Again, I just put him on my fucking Instagram story. That fucking video of him. He's just Mr. Olympia to me. You know what I mean? Dude, Lee never had no fucking bloated gut. And I'm not saying it because he's my friend. But these guys did. Victor Martinez, one of the best V-tapers ever. He didn't have no bloated gut. These guys today, every one of them got blood. I see girls with bloated guts up there because they listen to these fucking gurus. You know what I mean? It's too much.
Did you see the transgender bodybuilding girl? I think they did a show. It was a transgender.
Guys or girls? When Joe Pietaro and I were doing our podcast, I remember there was a girls transgender. It was women who became men.
Yeah, it was something. It was
some of them were fucking seriously jacked.
Yeah,
they would get their these scars here.
That's what they showed. Yeah, I saw. I think Nick DeGilly did it or something. Showed a video about it.
Yeah, dude, there was a black chick, bro, that you'd be like, holy fuck, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Ben Garcia wrote, I like when it was Charles Glass training top pros to mold their physiques, but to hire a old school Momo to tell you what drugs to eat and how to switch from rice to blueberries is ridiculous to me.
Yes, Ben. I know Charles. Let me tell you about Charles Glass. Charles Glass is a trainer. He's not a guru. He's not going to sit there. He might give him a little drug advice, a little bit. I don't know. I can't say for sure. But I know that his expertise was if you're having trouble with certain body parts and, your training's not going quite right, he helps you unlock what's right for you. That's Charles Glass's specialty. And the guy was great at it. I'm just telling you. And I feel like that's I'm very good. I do a lot of that shit. And there's somebody that I'm going to be working with right now. Not for money. I don't like doing that shit. But you know who, Joe. But I'm going to do it. You have to just unlock what's right for you. Sometimes you might need a little help with that. Just show different exercises and stuff. But Charles Glass isn't there telling guys, take, 10 cc's of tren and shit like that.
Yep. Anthony D said Tim is a AAU bodybuilder, was a diabetic. So Tim was a diabetic.
Yes. See, Anthony D probably remembers him. Mm-hmm. He was a diabetic, but he was the first one that fucked with insulin, knew how to, I can take a certain amount of insulin, eat all this sugar, and he actually blew up. If you looked at pictures of him on stage, he was a monster. And then you would see him 2 days later, and he was 25 pounds lighter. And not a fat, he just, shrunk down.
Yep.
If you look at his studio pictures and then look at his picture, you'd be like, wow, that's the thing. His face didn't even look the same.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny see him in the gym. Who's not such a nice guy. I saw him
Johnny Depp said Lee is still the top 3 freakiest bodybuilders of all time. That's true.
Listen, Lee wasn't just freaky. He had the freakiest arms. He had beautiful, but Lee had a beautiful body. Do you understand? For a short guy, he knew just how to pose. Who else could do that Sergio Oliva pose? Close to Sergio. I mean, Lee. You know what I'm saying? Like Lee's structure, the way he just posed, his density and everything. There's guys who are bigger than him. That little guy, what the hell is the little guy's name? Is that Brian Pablo? Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Brian's in there.
That's my boy, Brian Pablo. What's the kid? I used to see him all the time at Bob's Gym, and he was small. He wasn't that big. Now he's Sean Claridia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. He's always in. He used to be all strong and shapely. He was always in there.
Yep,
he was a small guy. Just before, I guess he was, real big and shit. But this guy's got mass on him. He's shorter than Lee, and he's got mass on him that's like fucking monstrous. But does the body float? The Lee Priest had this way of posing, and just the way he did everything, it looked good. Same thing with Victor Martinez. Victor Martinez wasn't the biggest guy on stage, but I loved his physique. He looked like a better Flex Wheeler to me. He had that V taper, and those just nice legs and shit. He just looked. Victor Martinez was amazing, in my opinion.
Yep. Mike R says, poor Larry. Dave won't let him get a word in. And I know Dave's your friend, but he makes an ass out of himself.
Look, Dave's my boy, and Larry's my boy too. They know, Larry is very he don't play around. When he says something, he means it his way. He doesn't like, you know what I'm saying? And he's actually very respectful, because we all talk over him and it's not fair. You know what I'm saying? He never tells anybody shut up. We all fucking talk over him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Brian said, R.I.P. Rich Piana. He played the cards with the Reaper. He did. He definitely did.
Yes, Brian. Brian's my boy.
Yep. And Mike R says, love you, Greg. There's no RX without you.
Mike R. Yeah, that's one of my guys too. Mike, how you doing, brother? There's no thank you, Mike. I appreciate that.
Let's see. Will W said, Greg, we talked about this the other day. The physiques these days are all due to the multiple compounds they're pumping constantly. The golden era guys will always have the edge and be more pleasing.
Yes, Will is my guy. That's my guy too, by the way. I love Will. Will does martial arts, Dave.
Joe, he said he trained some people.
Yeah, he's really good at martial arts and law enforcement. So we love and we respect Will. Listen to me. Will's right, because all you have to do is look at the girls. Okay, Look at Corey Everson. Look at Gladys Portuguese, my girl, right? And look at all those girls. Rachel McClish, all of them. Then look at the girls today. The bikini girls are ripped. You have to see, first of all, those girls, if you see them, I'm backstage. So I'm from the screen away from them. Most of them got fucking mugs on them that you would be like, whoop. You know what I mean? A lot of makeup, like a showgirl, if it's like this thick.
Mm-hmm.
Their hard face, they have that voice. Hey, Joe, what's going on? How does my abs look? Meanwhile, they're, because they all fuck. They got these gurus getting them on all these different fucking things. Even the girls are on trend. Yep. And it's not the same. They've ruined the sport has gone too far. You're putting a male hormone in a female body. See, you know.
And they all deny they don't take steroids. So
yeah, I mean, look at Corey Everson. Today, she couldn't even win I don't even think she could win a bikini. Like the bikini girls are more harder and more have more muscle than her. You know, now you want to see a girl with traps or striated ass. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, I understand that. I'm friends with a lot of girls that are female bodybuilders. That's their thing. That's their thing. You know what I mean? But you can't tell me that the human being has evolved since Corey Everson, since Lee Priest, since guys like that. It hasn't. You know what I mean? It's just there's a lot more drugs in the sport, and these gurus to me are destroying. And the IFBB allows that. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you cut back on
so much, it changed so much because remember Bev Francis? She should have won. She was the biggest. But then they switched, and if she was today, she probably would have won. But
yeah, she was. I mean, she was jacked before anybody was jacked. Yeah, I mean, Bev was. You know, Bev, again, I know Bev forever, and Bev is actually a very nice girl. I know that a lot of you people, you know, you see her and you think, but as jacked as she was, Bev Francis was actually a very nice girl. She could sit and talk to you and laugh, and she was actually a very nice girl. I knew her very well. She's a good person. I like Bev Francis as a person.
Yeah, she's pretty good. Let's see, what did it say? Duro Dave Smith said, if old Dirty wants his money, I think you all better give him his money.
Who's Old Dirty?
I don't know what he's talking about. Maybe he's talking about
fucking Dave.
Dave, maybe, who knows? John Scanary said the zits are from the fluctuations in your levels. You're going to take your shots every other day and never miss to keep stable levels.
You know what it is, John? I actually believe it's a genetic thing. Okay, I took the Babanya, I lost the fucking hair. Okay, my nuts never shrunk, but I didn't start taking it till I was 35. I think if I was young and I took it, I never got zits either. I think that if I was young, it seems to be the young guys get a lot of acne, ball shrinkage. They get the fucking power rally. Some lose their hair. The only thing I got was the hair. I didn't get the bitch tits. I didn't get the fucking ball shrinkage, you know? Mm-hmm. But I think each person's different. The way, if you're a guy who has naturally big areolas, you know, the nipple, right? Your areola is big. I had tiny little dots almost, you know, when I started, you know, taking steroids and shit. And I'm saying to you, if you're a guy with, you're more prone, bigger areolas are more prone to respond with estrogen. You know, everybody's different. Some guys look, Lou Ferrigno has a thick crop of hair on his fucking head. You know what I mean? There's a lot of bodybuilders. Matarazzo had a nice hair. You know, a lot of guys had, you know, DePaul had nice hair. DeMayo. A lot of guys have nice hair. They have a thick head of hair. Lee's got a pretty good, he's got a little bit of power alley, but he's got that fucking hair on his head. It's just, you know, if it's going to happen, okay, it's like a tree. You know what I mean? No matter what you do, it's going to lose its leaves in the fall and get its leaves back. But some trees, like an evergreen, never loses it. There's trees that never lose their leaves, and there's trees that it's all about you, the person. Yep. Everybody's different.
Yep. Windward Attack said, Joe, I wish I could get an answer from Greg. Or you on alcohol alternatives with my pain relief after 3 back surgeries?
Am I on alcohol alternatives? No, I never.
With he had 3 back surgeries and alcohol alternatives. With his pain relief.
He said, or are you on alcohol alternatives? I'm not on anything from none of my surgeries. You know what I'm saying? I took fucking Tylenol. I don't like those things. I don't like any painkillers. I'm pretty good with pain. You know what I mean? I don't like painkillers because they, you know, the prescription ones, because they make you chagad. And I don't like to feel even the slightest bit chagad. Do you understand what I'm saying? Meaning a little loopy or tired. I don't like that feeling. I hate that. And I feel like I can't control myself. Or if I'm walking around like, you know, oh man, I took a fucking opiate, you know. I don't like that stuff, you know. I had throat cancer and they gave me that shit, you know, because they took out half my throat and they cut my lymph nodes. You know, I was cut from here to here. You can see the video online. And, you know, they gave me opiates. I took it. I was like, holy fuck, this is what, you know, I felt like I was on a boat. You know what I mean? Like a fucking shit's moving. I don't like that feeling. So I just took Tylenol.
Wow.
I think when I mean, I don't know. You back. Most guys I know that got back surgeries regret it because the doctors today, they tell everybody, everybody's got a slip disc. Everybody's disc is a little fucking worn out and shit like that.
Especially if you work out every day.
Yeah, if you work out, bro, there's nobody, there's nobody hasn't hurt their back that works out that hasn't like, oh shit, my back's a little fucked. Yep. But that's usually muscle and shit. And if you train correctly and do things right, you might be able to bypass that. The only thing I can tell you is don't get yourself on those painkillers or alcohol. Alcohol's not going to help. All you can do is kill your fucking liver too. And once you get a fatty liver, the next step is cirrhosis. You get cirrhosis by, you know what I mean? You're going to either need a liver transplant. Cirrhosis means death. It's necrosis. It's death. Once the liver, that's dead. You know what I mean? The cells are dead. The liver, that part of the liver's dead. It's either got to get cut off. It's not going to come back. Do you understand that? That doesn't come. Liver can regenerate itself, but it can't get to cirrhosis. So if you start fucking around with alcohol, you're going to die from that shit.
Yep. John Mancini Fitness said the best thing. He said, home gyms are the best. No drama. Home gyms are the best.
Yeah, but you know what I do? I agree, John. I agree 100%, but I do have a part of me. I'm a social butterfly. So I like to go in the gym and I'm around the guys and other people and shit, and a lot of times it takes me an hour till I even start working out because I'm over there bullshitting with everybody, whether it's bitching about the Yankees or something else.
And one word said, Joe and Greg, is there any natural pain relief? I don't know, CBD. I don't know, CBD. You might try some CBD stuff.
CBD, shit like that. Some guys like the MSM. What's that? The wait a minute. The BPC 157 and the other one that goes with it. What the hell's that? The other one, BPC 157 and what the fuck was that? There's another one that goes with it. That shit I think might help.
Yeah.
Might help.
There's a machine that you can put on your back and it can help you, like the strobing.
Yeah. I put the pads on. You know what I mean? Those pads with fucking lidocaine or whatever the shit it is. You buy them in Walmart.
Yep. Mike R said Lee Priest at 21 years old looks better than most of these guys that have trained for 21 years. That is true.
Yes. And one of the biggest reasons, and if you talk to Lee, he'll tell you he's like me. He started training when he was like 12 years old. Do you understand what I'm saying? Say he didn't start steroids till he was like 19. So he trained like 7 or 8 years. Who trained 7 or 8 years? I trained 23 years before I took steroids. But who trains that long today? Dude, I get kids in the middle of it as soon as they walk in the gym. I want to start working out again. I want to get a little bit big. What can I take? You know what I mean? It's like, dude, why don't you try working out first and building a frame,
Yep. Ben Garcia said today's prerequisite is to be a pro today is to look like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, that's the truth too. They all look like that with the gut. But wait, Guru Dave Smith just said over here, I think he's trying to say kratom. Is that what he's trying to say? I don't know about that shit. I know people have took that shit and claim they get addicted to that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's like saying, why don't you take, what is this shit they take? Wait, take, what's it, methadone? Methadone instead of, when people are on fucking, dude, I don't know if that's still just, it hits the opiate fucking receptor and makes you feel like you're taking opiate, but you're not. I just don't think you should fuck with shit like that, Yeah,
Girl Dave Smith said, Joe, did you really see a trans show? Really? I said, it was a Nick Trigili posted it on Instagram about something about.
Yeah, that's been that. Listen, Joe, I keep calling Joe. I call him Joe Zapata. I call you Joe Pietaro all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Joe Pietaro and I, when we were doing shit 15 years ago, he covered a show and there was chicks that were girls that became guys and they were, they had no tops on everything. And, they were just like a guy. They go on bodybuilding shows and you see them standing there, bro. They're fucking, some of them chicks are jacked, bro. They're jacked. They look just like dudes. They get the tits cut out. There was a black dude that had fucking abs, big pecs, fucking shoulders. I mean, I mean, look at some of these female bodybuilders. I've seen they show these chicks, there's chicks with 20-inch arms. You ever see that Russian chick? Holy shit. You know what I mean?
Yep. John Mancini said Victor Martinez still looks amazing. I think he's competing one more show. I heard he looks great. I saw him not too long ago.
I know Victor forever. Joe and I, we had him on the show here, and he even said how, him and I go way back. Listen, Victor Martinez's structure to me is one of the best ever. I love his structure. He has that V taper, his legs sweep nice. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to be 300 pounds to have like the structure alone is just great. It's like Lee Priest. His structure alone, you know, at 198 looks better than some of these guys that are his height that are now competing in the 220s, 230, because, you know, the structure. And these guys get guts. He didn't have no gut. Victor Martinez never had a gut. His physique was amazing. I liked his physique better than everybody talks about Flex Wheeler, but I liked his physique better. You know what I mean?
Yep. Grunge Truck said, I hope Lee is okay. Yeah, Lee is okay.
Yeah, Lee's okay. I think Lee's out of the hospital right now.
Or Dave Smith said, Joe, he organized a trans show. Nick Giglio, I don't know, but I saw it on his Instagram. That's what I'm saying.
I think Guru Dave wants to go to that show next time.
Maybe he does. I'm not sure. Knight Rider said, Greg, yeah, let Lee sausage out your mouth. Yeah, okay.
What did he say? Lee got to get this. Wait, what does that say? I can't read.
Lee, something about getting your Lee sausage out of your mouth, whatever.
Sure. You know what? When you take my sausage out of your mouth, I'll fucking take Lee's out of mine. Lee's my friend. Lee's my friend. And you're telling me, you know what? You tell me who looked better than him. Just tell me.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I mean, you know, I'm not just making that shit up. He doesn't have the reputation he has because he's fucking, you know, but just because he's my friend. You know what I mean?
WJ Powers 45, Williams 45. I agree with the panel. As a patron of Gold's in Venice in the 90s was a different time. It was a mecca, and people went to see Mr. and Mrs. O as well as famous. I even dated Mrs. O there.
Okay. Oh, really? Which one did you date? Which one?
Date? Who did you date?
And you're right, you know, and that's kind of what Dave Palumbo was trying to say. It's just that he was stuck in the 90s, that 90s and 80s thinking, and that's what Larry said. Larry said back in the 90s it was a thing. Today, it's not a thing. You know what I mean?
Yep. Back in the 2000s, I was very I bought the original Hammer Strength from the old gym, loving it.
Yeah, oh yeah, I love Hammer Strength too. Dude, that
Anthony said that Charles Glass was a former gymnast.
Yes, he was.
I didn't know that. Was he really?
Yes, he was. He was a gymnast. Yeah.
A pro card at Nats as a light heavy. He's a great with training with different angles. Wow, I didn't know.
And you know what's funny? You know, he could kick some ass too. You know, there's some stories I've heard and shit about him out there. You know, I know Charles, but I don't know him like that.
Yeah, Anthony D's old school, and he knows so many of the.
Yeah, Anthony D. Yeah, that's why I'm saying he knew when
he knows a lot of the. Very smart. Hopefully we can get him on the podcast. What does this say? Johnny, imagine seeing Rich use a jump rope. Rich Piana? I don't know if that's Rich Piana you're talking about.
I don't know. What was that guy saying about Larry that just was up there? Something about Larry.
I don't know. Larry's a good guy. He said, Greg, I asked Gasparino to hook me up with Emily. I don't know who that is. Campano.
Emily Campano. I talked to her on the phone. He Gasparino's crazy. He's talking about my friend, Jolly Gasparino from Fox News and Emily Campano.
Yep. My brother George said he started my milk thistle and fish oil.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
George, I didn't hear back from you. I didn't know what the hell happened. We got to talk about that off the line here.
Yeah.
You got to do it like 4 or 5 times a day.
Yep. Jay-Z, you and Greg match. How cute. Yes, we got the same blue sweater, blue ball. I'm just missing my glasses. Yes. What else?
Wait, somebody AZ. What is that AZ? Somebody has something's highlighted there, Joe.
Let me see. I don't see. I'm trying. I'm going. There's so many.
I think it's 2 things highlighted. I can't see shit though, Joe, because I'm blind. Oh yeah, it's AZ. You guys,
AZ, what's going on, AZ? It says, hi, Greg. A lot of pros say they never go do direct forearm training, but plenty of forearm exercises were and are promoted in mags and online. Is training forearms directly worth the time? That's a good question, AZ.
Yeah, I mean, it is, unless you have naturally big forearms or naturally big calves. Lee Priest said he never trained his forearms. His forearm, he just had that genetically. Look at his forearm. I know guys like that, you know what I'm saying? I never even trained my calves, and I have really pretty big calves, you know? So at least his calves are like fucking bowling balls, you know what I mean?
Would you train forearms? Would you train forearms, Greg? Do you train?
I don't really need to right now. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, I did reverse curls and that hit them. You know what I mean? But you know, they're good. My forearms are good. You've seen me in person.
Yep. WJ Powers 45, Williams 45 say if you can't get big off test and DECA, good food and hard ass workouts, then maybe tennis is a sport for you.
Oh, God. Or ping pong. Take a ping pong. You know? There's certain bodybuilders, like Mike Matarazzo never did calves, and he had giant calves. Paul DeMeo used to tell me he would drive by Matarazzo's house and see him out there cutting the grass. And he said, this is before Matarazzo was even a boxer. a bodybuilder. He used to do a lot of boxing and shit. And his fucking, it's some guys just genetically are like that. I've seen guys, I've seen a lot of guys. My father had huge calves. He used to wear these fried boots. He had to cut them because they couldn't get him up over where the calves are,
Yep.
So it's
Brian Pablo has a question, and he says, Brian says, hey Greg, what's your opinion on Rich Piana's advice on eating like a bodybuilder, even if you were flat ass broke? He lived on Chef Boyardee, rice, tuna, eggs, and oatmeal.
Well, I've never. First of all, I don't like oatmeal's really not that good for you. You know what I mean? Because it annoys your intestines, and it's a grain. All that whole grain shit's all bullshit. But Chef Boyardee raviolis, that's like one of the worst things to eat. That's like such a processed bad food. Eggs, yeah. Tuna, yeah. I have trouble eating a little bit of that because when I had the gallbladder fucking taken out and shit, I couldn't eat certain foods. I had to eat all that kind of shit, the tuna and eggs and all. And after a while, it's like even like turkey, like ground turkey, like turkey burger bullshit. Oh my God, I ate so much of that right now. And my girlfriend bought it the other day, and I'm like, I was eating it like where I chew it and then swallow it with fucking drink. You know what I mean? Like a pill. Mm-hmm. I couldn't. I just was sick. Because I got sick of that. But yeah, that's good food. No Chef Boyardee though. Joe, that one is Chef Boyardee. Do you know the nasty shit that's in that?
In the can, yeah, that's nasty. Winward Texas, don't forget to give a thumbs up on the live tonight. Thank you, Winward. Make sure everyone hit that thumbs up. Thank you.
Yes, so Winward, thank you. Brian, you can eat oatmeal if you want. It's not like the worst thing, but it's just that the whole grain thing has been debunked now. You know what I'm saying? Grains are not really the greatest thing for you. And that's why what's the name? Jay Cutler he stopped eating oatmeal and likes to eat cream of rice. He eats the cream of rice instead. I would try to find something a little different.
Yep. WJ Powers 45 says only 2 rules in bodybuilding. 1, never talk about fear, and 2, see rule number 1. It's pretty good.
There you go. That's more like MMA. But the thing is, because a lot of bodybuilders are punks, bro. You have no idea. But guys, the other thing is, just because you saw Rich Piana eating that kind of shit doesn't mean that you should sit around and make peanut butter shakes and with fucking applesauce in it and fucking Cocoa Pebbles or something like that. That's those guys. Those guys are taking insulin and other shit that just counteracts all that shit. If you're a natural bodybuilder, I was a natural bodybuilder for 23 years. You have to watch everything you fucking eat. And if you're on steroids, even with that, try to eat clean protein. Yeah. You should be eating that way. You can have a little shit, but you have the good food first.
Yep. James Domansky says, hi, Greg. You know James Domansky, any chance?
No, but hi, James. How you doing, my brother?
Yep. What do you say? Ben Garcia says, Greg, Buck Angel has his own podcast and is totally for Trump and his trans agenda shit.
Yeah, I know Buck Angel. I told you, I was in a club with him. He took pictures of me and him together, with my girlfriend and a bunch of people. We were in a club. And him and I were the 2 biggest guys in the club. And for some of you guys who don't know who Buck Angel is, it's a transgendered man. It's a female to male. And he's actually a really nice guy. And if you guys met him in person, bro, he was fucking jacked. I mean, he takes hormones. I mean, he has a goatee, beard, tattoos all over his he had big arms and shit. Yeah. I have the picture. I think I sent you a picture of me and him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's actually a good guy, bro. You have no idea. I mean, he's definitely pro-Trump.
Yep. George said, Greg, he's going to get with you this week. So he'll get with you this week, my brother George.
Oh, yeah, definitely, George. You got to, let's hook up. Don't fuck around with that. You know what I'm
saying? We're about an hour in already, Greg. So I want to give everyone in the chat goodbye. I want to say thank you for joining us and coming on for spending this hour with us. Ben Garcia, John Mancini, Windward Attack, John Scuderi, everyone in there. Anthony D, of course, James Domansky, Guru Dave Smith, Johnny Death, Brian Pablo, everyone's in there. Dan Selena, Will Debley, thank you all for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yes, guys, thank you.
Like and subscribe. I'm going to have some more guests coming on soon. I'm actually interviewing one of the Port Authority cops, Will Jimeno, who actually was buried alive for 13 hours in World Trade Center number 2.
Oh, Christ.
He's going to come on with me and talk about
shit.
Yeah, he's they did a movie about him with Nicolas Cage called World Trade Center. So he's coming on to say hello, and he's going to talk to me because he's friends with one of my friends who's a Port Authority cop. So just like, subscribe, guys. We got more stuff coming. Greg, I will talk to you soon, brother.
All right, Joey. This hour went fast. I feel
it goes by quick,
it's been a half hour. You know what I mean?
It goes by quick, man. Running a lot. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later.
All right, guys. Me and my sweater say, have a good one. Be safe. Be warm. Global warming bullshit.
Thanks for watching the Zapata Brand Podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast and listen where all podcasts are available.